Hi guys and welcome to DIY Ideas. Today we have another tutorial for a scarf with this puffy wool here with these really cute loops. It's super simple, you don't have to crochet anything, you just use your fingers. We have today here this black and white wool, and with this little pattern variation you can kind of see these lines here from left to right. That's here so the scarf doesn't roll up on the edges like we've seen in the previous videos, so it stays nice and straight. How I did this, I'm going to show you now, and have fun! Okay, so this is the wool we're going to use here. It's called the Alize Puffy wool, and yeah, it's by Alize. It's no guarantee that you actually pronounce it like this, I'm not actually sure, but you use this wool without any crocheting. And to be honest, I have tried and it actually does work for me with a crocheting hook as well, but you don't need it. And so I planned this pattern without a crocheting hook. Yeah, it's 100% micro polyester. It has this eco-friendly sign here. And the color number you can see here is the number 686. Okay, and yeah, I mean, I've heard already from some friends, it kind of looks like a stracciatella, which is, yeah, you know, a type of ice cream or yogurt. It's white with these black little dots. I think it's super cute, and we'll see later how it looks like as a full scarf. And so now, how are we going to do this pattern? So I'm going to pull out the thread, the starting thread from the middle. It's, by the way, it's 100 grams and 9 meters long. It's, yeah, it works super well for exactly one scarf. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some of this thread and I take out about the width of what I want my scarf to be. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to do 8 loops. I think that's a really nice width for a scarf. And so what I'm going to do here from right to left, I'm going to kind of put the thread behind here, and I'm going to take the 9th loop, okay? So number 9, and I'm going to pull it through the 8th loop, so the one before. Okay, and so here you can see the thread kind of behind. That's what I'm going to use, yeah, to basically crochet, finger crochet onwards. And so I'm going to take the next one and I'm going to go pull it through the front one. And I'm always going to take the one from the back and I'm gonna pull it through the one in the front. Okay, so make sure you don't skip a loop here. We don't want to make sure that we get every single loop like we're supposed to. And so here is my back loop and we're gonna pull it through the front one. Okay, so here we already have 4 loops ready, and if I didn't count wrong, we should have 4 left for this row. Okay, this is number 5. Here is number 6, number 7, and here is number 8. Okay, so first row is done. Oopsie. Okay, so you can see this loop actually broke here. So that can happen. It's the first time this has happened. It's the first, yeah, it was the very first loop. Doesn't matter, we'll do only 7 loops actually. We could obviously take this apart again and add another one to this row, but I think 7 honestly is probably fine. I don't think it makes a big difference. So we're just going to continue like this. And for the next row, we're going to work from left to right. So I'm going to take some more of this yarn and kind of put it behind what we already did. And so I have these 7 loops here. And we just did it from right to left, and so now we're going to do from left to right. Okay, backwards. And so we have this last loop here from the row before, and what we're going to do is we're going to pull the next one through. Okay, so you can see here, this is the next one in line basically, and we're going to pull through the first one. And we're going to continue doing this here as well, just like we did in the row before. Okay, I always kind of pull it through and then up a little bit so it's fixed inside. So I'm going to finish this for the rest of this row here. And then this row is done as well. Okay, so this is what's going to be different to the simple technique. If I just continue this as we just did now, then I'm just going to have this whole scarf looking like this. This is the back side, and you can kind of see these, these lines here on the back side. And I'm going to do it this time in a way that I'm going to go in front with this next row. So with that, we're going to actually change the way it looks, kind of like the back side to the front and then the front side to the back. So we're going to go anyway right to left like we were doing, but then instead of putting the loops of the new loops behind the old ones, we're going to put them in front. So we're going to get these lines that we saw on the back actually on the front now. So it's only a small change, but you can actually notice it quite a lot, and it helps with the structure of the scarf to be laying flat and not actually roll up on the sides. So we're going to put the loop in front of the loop in the row before, and then pull it through from the front to the back. Okay, so it's the same thing we were doing, but we changed the way of pulling through the loops. And you can see now here you get these little ridges, you get these lines that we saw on the back side earlier. And so you can kind of, with a very simple little change, you can get a nice little pattern variation. I'm going to continue doing this for the rest of the row here. And this here. Okay, that should be, yeah. You can kind of see here how you can, actually this ridge here is forming, and that on the back side here you have the flat, part on the back, let's say. And yeah, so that's what we have here. And yeah, basically these lines, these ridges here that we used to have on the back, we now have on the front as well. So I'm going to continue doing this with another row, and then I'm going to keep switching the pattern every 2 rows. So that you can have like a nice even pattern. I'm going to pull out a little more yarn so there's no tension on the line here, and so I'm going to take the thread and pull it in front of our scarf here because we're doing the second pattern here, and I'm going to continue doing this for this row as well. So with the new loops in front, I'm going to pull it through the old loop in the back, and so push through and pull up in the back. And always make sure that you don't skip a loop here or don't leave one out, that you would have to open up this row again. And we obviously don't want that. Okay. And this is the last one of this row number 4. Okay, I'm going to pull these up a little bit just to make sure that they're in here nice and safe. And you can see now we have 2 of these ridges now. So I'm going to go backwards now again and do it like we did in the very first 2 rows. So I'm going to put the thread behind the scarf now and pull the loop from behind towards the front, like we were doing in the first 2 rows. So I have it in the back now, and I'm going to pull it through to the front and up. And I just pull it through. And one more. This is the last one of this row. And now you can see again that the pattern here on the front is flat again. Okay, and we have the ridges in the back, and here the flat part. And that's how this pattern basically evolves. I'm going to continue doing this for the rest of the scarf, and I'm going to keep switching the pattern every 2 rows. Okay, so I'm almost done here with the rest of the yarn. You can now see the pattern, how nice it looks, especially if you keep turning the scarf around a little bit. You can see, the pattern changes. And so the big advantage of this pattern here is that the edges don't roll up on the side. if you just do the pattern very simply without switching it up, it's gonna roll up on the side like you've seen maybe in older videos that I've done with this wool. And so what do I have left here on the top? I have a little bit left of the thread, and I'm here in the pattern where I'm doing it from the front, so where you can see the ridges. And so I'm going to continue that with this last row here. You can use this yarn basically all the way to the end until there's the last loop left. You don't really need much thread left to to tie anything up or to sew anything away. So here you can see the pattern. Again, we're doing the one with the ridges in the front. So we're actually, I was just doing this wrong. I just did this loop backwards to the front, but we're actually supposed to be doing it from the front to the back. Okay, so this way. Exactly. And here are 2 left for this row. 1. And this is the last one of this row. So let's see how many we have left. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. We have 8 left, which is enough for a row of 7. So I'm going to go back and do the pattern that we first did. So I'm going to go put the thread on the back of the scarf and then pull the loops through to the front. Pull it through. Here as well. Okay, so now we're almost at the end here. We should have 1 loop left over when we're done with this row. Okay, so here we really just have this 1 loop. Oh no, it's actually 2 loops, 2 loops left. And so what we're going to do to finish off the scarf here on the top, it's actually also very simple. So we're going to start here on the other edge, not where we just finished off, but where we just started this row. I'm going to take the first loop and pull the second loop through the first, and then the third one through the second loop, the fourth through the third, the fifth through the fourth. And with that, you're kind of finishing off with a nice little edge here that looks really neat and tidy. And so we're going to do that until the end here. So yeah, this is the last one. And here is the 2 leftover ones. So we're going to pull both of these through this last loop. We're going to pull it tight. And then here we have, the second one we had here actually just kind of broke. And so that's fine. But this other one that is here, we're going to cut off. And so be careful here because with a scissor, it's very easy to actually cut the thread and not just the loop. So don't cut it too low. So with the thread here, we're just going to kind of loop it through some of these stitches. And as you can see now, the thread is hidden and this is done. So we're going to do this the same way in the front here where we started. And then the scarf is done. So this is 1 ball of yarn. It's a nice length. It's a nice pattern. It's a very simple pattern. So it's just the same pattern, just backwards. And so it's not crazy. The pattern is not like super noticeable, but you can see it if you actually take a better look at the scarf. And yeah, that's what the scarf looks like. I think it looks really nice, and it's obviously the big advantage that it doesn't roll up on the sides. Thank you guys for watching DIY ideas. I hope you liked this video. If you would like to watch more, please visit my channel and subscribe for free. You'll always be the first one to be informed about a new video. Please share this video with your friends, and see you next time!